Hey, so I hope you had a really nice break in 2023 and ready to go in 2024. For myself, I know over the break I was definitely in summer here, so lots of summer vibes and music creation, and I took a little bit of a break, but I thought I'd put it together a bit of a video discussing like capping over 2023 and what the plans are for this channel in 2024. But before I get into that, I want to say a big thank you to everyone that's engaged with this channel, whether you've liked or subscribed or commented or just watch the video to get some inspiration and be able to apply it to your music. That's really what I wanted to see here. It really does help the stuff I'm doing, and it just shows my love for these machines here and trackers as well. And really, like, we did hit that 3,200 subscriber mark here, so really happy with that. Thank you to everyone that has decided to stick around and watch the content. And like leading up to the end of 2023, I did actually get to do a live workshop with the Polyend tracker and show off some of the cool features in a live setting and have those discussions live. So that's really what I really wanted this channel to be, was being able to get that good information out there. So with this video, it's going to be talking about the two types of tutorials going into 2024 and sort of the ideas around the content. You probably noticed in 2023 I was releasing some 3D stuff, and I want to have a bit of a discussion there because some stuff's happening, and like we do have weekly beats full on. So if you saw my video last week, so I did a bit of a survival guide, so I also want to talk a bit about that. So let's get straight into it. So I've been doing this YouTuber thing for a couple of years now, and I'm really starting to feel that I'm getting the idea of how to deliver my content, because I have some advanced ideas I want to show off. I have some beginner friendly stuff with these machines and how to get set up with them. And I'm finding that my tutorials now are really starting to hit those stepping stones of like how to get from here up to here. Like last year I released some genre specific tutorials where they were like fully fledged, go through the entire process of making that genre, as well as like here's some really cool ideas you can try with the tracker from like a really basic standpoint into some really advanced features. And on that, I will say thank you to everyone that do comment, because it really does help me steer the channel. And I feel that really did push me to make a lot of tracker content as well, because the Polyend tracker, I really do enjoy that machine, but there is a lot of knowledge there that needs to be shared and put out there, because it's such a fantastic machine for one, but it's like what you can do with it. It really is like a portable door, and I really enjoy it, but I feel some people get caught in those sort of pitfalls. So definitely want to keep making tutorials there, but I do recognize that it sort of dominated my channel in the last year. So I think moving forward, I want to start branching out and start bringing in some of these machines that I feel getting a little bit neglected. And in 2023, I did get some reviews out there talking about my ideas. I'm not one that likes getting a device and then being able to like, hey, first day, check it out. I do like sitting with the machine and having a sort of more in-depth look and figure out pipelines on how to make music with it before I say any sort of review content as well. So you'll probably see some more reviews from me in 2024. But I think the better discussion will be having those sort of in-depth discussions to see if it's a right fit for you for music production and how it would best benefit some of the music pipelines out there. So right now I do plan to keep doing those weekly videos. Like right now is a little bit too hot to film in this space, so I'm just waiting for it to cool down a bit, but I've definitely been writing down all the ideas and capturing them as scripts for YouTube. So I have a bunch of ideas to go through for the Polyend tracker, but also the Play and all these machines here behind me. So you'll definitely see some new videos popping up. Like a big one that I'm working on at the moment is I have the Play Plus, so I want to do a zero to hero sort of series where it goes from like a very beginner standpoint with the Polyend Play, and then being able to release a track at the end, whether that's you record it live or you create a whole bunch of stems using the chain system and then bringing it into your DAW of choice and being able to manipulate that. So I feel these sort of groove boxes that can be all in one, being able to sit down and make a song from scratch and then being able to put it out there, I think they do deserve that sort of walkthrough style of how to make music with them. So I'm really happy with the type of content that I've planned to move forward with, and definitely comment if you got any ideas or anything you want me to explain further. I do live down in the comments and sort of talk about things and explain things further in the videos. So if you're having any of the troubles with the machines that you have, like if you got any other ones back here as well, feel free to leave me in a comment or query and I'll definitely get to it. So this comes to the 3D part of the channel. Like you probably notice I do a bunch of 3D stuff in my music videos and some sprinkles of 3D magic through some of my videos just to make it a little bit more interesting and fun to watch. And like my music stuff, I really do enjoy it in this space, but my day-to-day is usually more of that 3D modeling stuff. So I was tinkering with the algorithm to see what would happen if I start producing 3D content for this channel. And like I use a couple other software, but Blender is a free and open source package. And I think it'd be really good to get some of that Blender content out there as well. But what I found when I put it onto my channel here, the algorithm sort of niches it with music and 3D. So anything with those two niches, so sort of a bit of a drop when I release that content, and it didn't really work the way I want. Like I did have one video that sort of caught on with the algorithm and it was nice to see, but I think it might be better to deliver that content under a separate channel. So what I've done is set up a new HJam channel called HJam 3D. I'll definitely leave a link down below, and I'm sorry about the hassle, but if you want to go see my 3D content, that channel is going to be where I deliver a whole bunch of that Blender content, where it's probably going to be focusing around like geometry nodes, making visualizations, making some product renders, as well as building some real-time assets and getting into more of that 3D component. And I can go a lot more in depth there, and then the algorithm can sort of eat at that idea of that's the 3D channel, this is the music channel, and like keep them both separate. But you will see them sort of funnel into each other, because I think creating visualizations for music is such an interesting area to work with. So you'll probably see some of the 3D content move on this side, and I might point you towards there if I'm doing some interesting things with synthesizers and 3D. So definitely check that out, but that's what's going to happen with the 3D content on this channel. So with the not so nice news out of the way, I thought I'd finish off with a bit of fun news. Is Weekly Beats is back again. So every other year I go into this challenge where it's like make a song every week for an entire year. And it's a really fun process, and you probably saw that my first video of the year was a bit of a survival guide on how to get through producing a song every week. So even if you're not doing Weekly Beats, I did put some content together to help people with getting a song out there. So it's like sort of the process, sort of avoiding those pitfalls of producing and releasing music to the internet. So it's definitely worth watching out if you don't actually follow Weekly Beats. But what this means for me is I'm going to be producing songs alongside my video content. So I feel what I want to try and do this year, because the other years I try and make a video to align with a song every week, and it sort of works, but what I want to try and do this year is bring them together in sets. So I have this really clear idea of what I want to produce as a musician to play live on stage. I want to take that and actually make music where I can actually play live on stage. So you'll probably see like collections of these songs popping up on this YouTube channels. If I make something that's really special and it deserves its own video, you'll probably see that pop up here. But I will be producing music, and by the end of the year I want to produce a live show of some sorts, whether that's streaming here or actually playing live and recording it. I don't know yet, but it would be fun to see what sort of music pops up and how to sort of string it all together into a nice big set. So I'm really looking forward to that. So saying all that out loud, it does sound like a lot of work to myself, but I think I have all the things in place to make this as easy as possible to be able to produce this type of work. And thinking about it, it's like for me, it's like this channel does deserve the weekly upload, because this is where I've been focusing a lot of my effort. You will probably see some Blender content on the other channel if you're over there. It won't be as frequent, but there's a lot more time being put into preparing those tutorials and sort of figuring out how that space is going to work. And producing a song every week, it really does give me the drive to actually go into this space and produce some type of music when the aircon's working. So that'd be really fun to do. And in the end, thank you so much for listening to this video, because really I do try and set out a roadmap for this channel and sort of like the plan moving forward. And like, I'm still new to YouTube, I'm still trying to figure out all this stuff and how it all works, but I think I've got a really good grasp on it. And with the types of comments I'm getting, I think I'm on a really nice path to produce some really useful content for everyone. So if you do or have already, please feel free to leave comments about the types of things you want to see here. I'm definitely looking for things to do and bring onto this channel to support other people as well, because I feel like the tracker and the play stuff is definitely going to be a value add this year, but I definitely want to start touching on these machines behind me as well, like how I use them as more for sound design things and all that sort of stuff. So really, it was just sort of capture everything, have a bit of a discussion, and if you want to stick around, I look forward to seeing you next time.